Okay, Alex, you chose one of the hardest and scariest topics for your first feature-length documentary, yung drug war. Bakit yun ang pinili mong first topic?
Well, syempre, I think ang obvious din is because of my background. I was a TV producer. I worked at GMA for a really long time, since after college. At ayun, it was a very obvious it was a very obvious topic actually. Parang napakainit niya para hindi gawin at the time.
Yung isang yung aswang metaphor, and of course that's also the title of your film, no? Paano mo naisip yun?
I was actually researching on the Aswang, just at the back of my head, and then when the first images came up, Rafi's photos or itong mga nakabalot ganun, una ko siyang nakita, yun yung naisip ko kasi yung idea ng aswang parang pananakot lang din siya, fear-mongering siya, ginamit siya previously in our history. Mag-iiwan ng patay sa gilid, sa daan para matakot niyo yung mga hukbalahap or something. And even then na-recognize ko na these deaths, these very blatant display of violence, ano siya, fear-mongering siya. It was sending a message. Ayun. Although at the very beginning, when I wrote it, I wasn't really sure if it was gonna carry through, if it was gonna end up as an aswang. Sa editing na lang talaga siya binuo. But I guess it was also a guide, because it's very easy to fall into a certain kind of film if you don't have this idea. It could easily have been a very journalistic film, mas for broadcast. And that's perfectly okay. And that probably would have been easier to distribute such a film. But if you think about Aswang, then you know that it's more of towards this creative documentary genre.
Okay, well, speaking of fear, no? So nagkaroon nga ng climate of fear, especially in these communities. Pero ikaw mismo, natakot ka ba?
Actually, the first few months ng pagko-cover ko, nare-recognize mo talaga na some of the other journalists who were covering like weeks or months earlier, who started a bit earlier than me, medyo tinatamaan na sila kasi I remember nasa kotse kami ng isang colleague pabalik ng QC, tapos may sako sa daan. May sako lang. Tapos talagang na-tense siya. Kasi isip niya, ano yung nasa sako? Ganon. Tapos si Rafi naman, minsan may nakasabit sa poste na
This is Rafi Lerma, no? Just to refresh the listeners' memories. Na he was a photojournalist. Oh.
Yeah, so Rafi was the one who helped me in the beginning to join the night shift. Sometimes may plastic lang na nakasabit. You really start seeing things Doon simula. And then, of course, meron ng time na kapag may dadaan na motor sa likod ko, walking on the sidewalk, then mamimigas na ako, ganun. But it was all really just parang, I took it, wala lang. Mas natakot ako nung lumabas na yung film. Mas nakakatakot pala siya nung, when the film was released and everyone had access to it. Ayun talaga, mayroong mga moment. I'm not sure if I was just paranoid. Maybe I was just really being paranoid. But I do know that it's better to be paranoid and to be prepared than not. You can't take these things for granted.
What were you afraid of? Sabi mo, tinamaan ka rin, no?
Oh, I don't know, sir. Parang in the beginning, syempre, maiisip mo lang na you're seeing bodies left and right. That was it. But when the film was released, of course, I was very afraid of my safety. People around me as well, the people in the film as well. Iniisip mo kasi, they've made such brilliant examples of what they can do to people. And people like us, we're just filmmakers.
Were you worried about your mental health?
Definitely at the beginning, in retrospect, in hindsight, I think I was certainly affected. And I remember this because Sheila Coronel was writing a piece for the Atlantic, I think. And then she did an interview with a few of us. This was in 2016. So sobrang fresh kasi parang every night ginagawa namin ganun. We were just speaking together in a car, and then suddenly I started crying. And then I think in the next few months, whenever I would speak about the film, someone told me, you really can't speak without your voice shaking. And in a sense, nakaka-guilty then to feel anything or to discuss the fact that you're feeling something. Kasi hindi ka naman talaga victim, di ba? There are people who are really going through everything. Pero ayun, I think it affected me somehow. I didn't sleep for a long time. My sleep was upside down. And that's something that we should really be prepared for in the future, or in hindsight, with people, other filmmakers or journalists move into this kind of work or story. They should really be prepared for that. And they should really be talking to other people. In my case, I think it was very helpful to talk to the other journalists, what they call the night crawlers, other people covering. Kasi wala ka naman ibang kausap but these people, they knew exactly what you were going through. So it helped a lot to have this community.
Hi, I'm Howie Severino. Check out the Howie Severino Podcast, an original for GMA News and Public Affairs. New episodes will stream every Thursday. Listen for free on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and other platforms.